It's always a bummer when this gets down to the end. That's number 3 today. That's, geez, not even noon. What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to yet another episode of Editing Your Photos, episode 6. I absolutely love making this series right back from when we created it, however long ago. It was a hit, and I have so much fun editing your photos. So for those of you who are new here or haven't seen one of these episodes, I provide you with an email, which is right here, sound effects included, and you guys send me your raw photos and a little bit about the photo and yourself, hopefully, and your Instagram account, so I can shout you out in this video, on screen, description, whatever we end up doing, and then I go through and I edit your photos. So the disclaimer that I always like to give before these episodes start is that I'm not claiming that I'm making these photos better or worse. It's just my style. This is how I edit. It's not necessarily the right way. It's also not the wrong way. It's just subjective to me. This is how I edit photos. Sometimes there's a mountain in the middle of the desert. Sometimes they're bangers. We're gonna go through 7 shots today from 7 incredible photographers that submitted their shots through this email. The email is now closed, so don't bother emailing them to that address or anywhere else. They'll be immediately deleted. But when we announce these episodes, it's usually on Instagram or Instagram stories, so you can go ahead and follow me at Peter McKinnon on Instagram and stay up to date for your chance to submit a photo to be edited and get that shout out on this channel. Whew! I'm legitimately out of breath on that one. That was a good roll. That felt right. It just felt right. All right, and one more thing before we get into editing this. I used a lot of my own presets on some of these edits, which a lot of you will be happy to know that today, while you are watching this, I've just released PM V3, my 3rd pack of presets. It is essentially the fall 2019 preset pack for Lightroom. So if you edit in Lightroom and you're editing your photos in that platform, you can download these presets and they will work for you in any version of Lightroom. Classic, CC, Adobe Camera Raw. They were created and fine-tuned to work across the board. So more on that later, but you'll probably see a lot of these being used in a few of my favorites, which we'll talk about while we're editing, but I know everyone was looking for those. When are they coming? And I tried to get them out this summer, but V3 is now finally available at the link below. But let's get into editing these 7 photos. First photo, let's just start with a banger, okay? Let's just come out of the gate. Creed 2 style, okay? Watch that on the airplane, by the way. Wow. So tense. This is from Joel Alfaro, and Joel says, "Hey there, Peter. My name is Joel. I recently started photography this year with a Rebel T6 that I got for Christmas." Congratulations, you're about to have a lot of fun and spend a lot of money. Backstory on the photo, we were heading out to a church at Freeport, Texas. It was coffee hour. Love coffee hour. I didn't even know that was an hour. For me, it's just every hour of every day. Little did we know that there was going to be a truck on fire at the parking lot. The firefighters arrived a couple seconds after. Lucky for me, I had my camera ready. That's why you always bring your camera everywhere and you leave it on because there's no battery life leaving it on. You just grab it and start shooting. Great action photo. Like, this is photojournalism. This is exactly why you keep your camera at the ready. Absolutely phenomenal photo. So this photo in particular, I went very hard on. Just classic Peter McKinnon. I zone right in and I just make it as insane as possible. How far can I push this edit? Can I get more smoke, more fog and mist and things to make this look like an action poster for a movie that's coming out? I applied one of my presets. Pirate Life is one of my new favorite presets that I've been using a lot on my 2nd Instagram account. If you don't know by now, it's at Pete's Pirate Life. It's a whole secondary brand that I run. You've probably seen that skull and knives somewhere in these videos at some point. A lot. That preset is very much what I use on that account all the time. So I ran that on this one, and if we take a look at the finished photo first, you'll see it's I told you I went hard. So we've got debris flying everywhere. We put motion blur on that debris. I put fire and embers on the right side to make that truck look like it was on fire. I put fire on the left side. I warmed both sides with a little bit of coolness in the middle so that firefighter looks like he's engulfed in flames and in the action. Put extra fog up top to just make it seem even more smoky and get rid of that blue sky almost entirely. And then a couple extra tweaks and sending it back and forth to Photoshop to find exactly those little pieces of debris and those little pieces of just things that are telling this story and making this into what is just this insane moment captured. And Joel, it was already captured at the perfect time. I just wanted to give it that Hollywood flair, which is my editing style. So this isn't usually how I edit everything, but this was a special photo, so I really had a good time doing it. That's my edit. Joel, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for submitting, and good on you for always having your camera ready. We are moving on to, I'm gonna say this name as Gunner because it's a very long name and I don't want to mess it up. Beautiful, beautiful shot of this horse with the sun just perfectly flaring through the bottom next to the other horse that's behind, illuminating the grass. Oh, honestly, it doesn't even need any edits. Like, you could just post it like that. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Great composition, great light, just nailed it. I should honestly just move on. All I did was run that Pirate Life preset again because it's one of my favorites and it's really good with dark greens and warm tones. So when you see it, this is kind of what it looks like. And I just dropped the highlights a little bit to bring back a little bit of the blue in that sky and get some of those details back. That's pretty much it. That's that photo with Pirate Life preset, a little bit of blues in the sky, and it is just a beautiful capture. So good job. That is amazing. All of these people, I'm gonna put their Instagram accounts on the screen. So I would love for you guys to find them, follow them, give them a little comment. Saw you on Pete's channel. Great shot. That's kind of part of the fun of this whole series. So this phenomenal capture, thank you so much for submitting. Kyle Myers. Hey Peter, been watching you for a while now. You've really helped inspire me to get out there and start making video content. Love that. Here's a shot I snagged last year in Yosemite National Park at Taft Point looking towards Half Dome. And that was taken on a Rebel T6i with the kit lens, which is the 18-55. So bam, we see the mountain in the background there. We know it's a little bit underexposed. I can probably bring that back in Lightroom by adjusting the exposure and the shadows, etc. Also by doing that though, you're gonna introduce a lot of grain to the photo. This is what my edit looks like. So you can see running through the new presets down the side, trying to pick what mood I think portrays this the best. It feels a little bit wintry. There is snow from what I can see on certain, it's very thin, but it's there, bringing out the greens and the orange to kind of like make it feel like autumn, make it feel like fall. I love mountain shots in the fall. If you've been to my Instagram account lately at all, you know that. It's like an advertisement for mountains. I like what I like. I tried to make this subdued, muted it a little bit, dropped a lot of the saturation, didn't want to make it overkill because it just feels like a really beautiful shot, like a painting, something you'd see hanging somewhere, and it just makes you feel warm and good inside, like you want to just get some hot coffee. I mean, I feel like that all the time anyway, but this was just a phenomenal capture. Bringing back those details and the shadows and highlights and stuff like that really made the photo come alive. It did introduce a lot of noise in the trees at the bottom there, so I just used a mask in Lightroom and just blacked out the bottom of that photo to try and hide a little bit of that noise since it was so prominent in the greens. All in all, a pretty basic edit, but I think it looks really, really nice because the photo is really, really nice. So thanks again for capturing this. Great job, T6i kit lens. That's a sick photo. And it just goes to show you that you don't need the most expensive camera in the world to take great photos like this. Well done. Let's see what Lance B has to say. Here's his raw photo. What's up, photographer from Toronto, Canada. Been a skateboarder and a music lover my whole life playing guitar, and I've been loving my journey into photography for the last year and a half. Instagram, right there. That is the TD Tower, and I love this. The amount of fog, and this feels like the Dark Knight. I feel like Batman should just be up on that tower. And in feeling that way, I just needed to make this as dark as possible. So a lot of people might not like the edit, but if we just skip ahead to the finished product, that's what I came up with. It just felt like it needed that extreme mood. Like it looked like Gotham. It looked like this is where Christopher Nolan would be shooting the next Batman if he was to do that. Please do that. So it's a very basic edit. I didn't do a whole lot. I think I might have even used that Pirate Life preset again just to start as the base. And if you're editing with presets in Lightroom, by the way, a lot of the time you use them as a base. It's like coating a wall with primer before you start painting it. That's kind of how I see presets being used within Lightroom. That's what I did for this. Got it to this point. Super happy with it. Thanks so much for submitting, and enjoy photography, man. You've clearly got an eye for it, so keep it up. Toronto. We have a photo here from Lorenzo, and he is from Portugal, and he loves shooting photos and videos. Much thanks to you and Maddie. All right, that's awesome. Thanks, man. This photo is a photo of my Tesla Model 3 taken in Portugal during some super foggy days. Yes, it was very foggy, but that is why this photo is exceptional. Those types of moments when you get up super early or when you hit that sunrise, but when you wait for those perfect times of day when the weather might be shifting or the weather might be bad, but you find that fog, and that fog is what makes this photo exceptional. It was also captured with beautiful exposure. So when you look at a raw photo like this, you know it's going to look awesome when you start editing it. It was super easy to do. I had a lot of fun with this one. I started off with my dream state preset as the base, and I just moved forward from there. That preset is very dark in orange and greens, and if you look at my grid right now, that's kind of what that theme is. That's kind of the tones that I'm shifting towards for fall. So I knew it would look great for this, and it does look phenomenal. So after I got those colors dialed in, I threw it over to Photoshop and just put an extra little couple flares on the headlights. So I put an anamorphic flare across so it would just split and look real nice and sexy. And then I actually took a fatter anamorphic flare and put that over both headlights to kind of just make it look like that fog was thicker than it was. And because I wanted those lights to really cut through the fog, I actually added a little more fog so that it really looked like those beams were just coming straight out. Very happy with how this came out. That is my final photo of your Tesla Model 3, which is looking super crisp. Thanks so much for submitting, and I hope you enjoyed the edit. I used it as the thumbnail. Sorry, thanks, I appreciate it. It's great, I mean, love it. Next up, we have some submissions from Mickey. Now, the email says, this will probably get lost between hundreds of thousands of emails, but I'm trying anyway, and I saw your story about editing our shots, and I happily want to volunteer. Well, guess what? We're doing this, and you took some banger photographs. So let's start with this picture, the coolest island I've ever seen in my entire life. Hot damn. All we have is that's a huge iceberg in Antarctica. Can you spot the birds? And yes, I can spot the birds. In fact, knowing me, I just wanted a few more birds. So I went ahead, dropped in some isolated birds, inverted the color of them from black to white, sized them down, moved them around to where I felt like the balance was right, and then I threw a little bit of a motion blur on those birds just to make it more of the focal point of that shot, because they really add to the grandeur. They add to like the scale of that crazy landscape you captured in a crazy place. Just seeing how menacing and big this iceberg was, I wanted to portray that by kind of giving this another moody tone to the photograph. Now, for those of you who have been around this channel since the beginning, you know this is basically my style. It's always been dark and contrasty and moody and rich with those deep blues and greens and heavy color like that. So this photo again was no exception. I added a little bit of extra fog so that those birds could stand out a little bit more. This is kind of what I came up with, and I couldn't be happier with how it looks. It looks like something out of a Star Wars movie. Like this doesn't even look like it could be real and on Earth. It looks like it was probably generated for some kind of sci-fi film. So great capture. The water splashing up on the rocks in the bottom right, a little bit of color from those mountains. There's a lot going on in this photo, and it is just something to behold. So phenomenal job, and this episode is just so good. You guys are incredible. So we have one more photo from Nikki, and it was king penguins with their chicks in a snowstorm on South Georgia Island. And like, when do you ever get to see photos of that? That's why I included this, because it's just so random to ever see. This is what the photo looks like, and that is what it looks like. Snowing, baby penguins in full grid. It's just, how are you even there? I want to photograph penguins. So good. Thank you so much for submitting. I hope you enjoy those edits. Phenomenal job. Great photography. Last and certainly not least, we have another beautiful photo from a photographer named Peter. What's up? Peter is from Austria, and this was a photo of his daughter in Thailand on the beach, and I just really liked it. And as a father myself, I could see myself taking the same style of photo of my kids, so I wanted to throw some edits on it. And not to be a broken record, but I just really liked that Pirate Life preset, so I used that on this, and it just punched it right out. And it's that right there, that color, that style, that vibe is exactly me. I love that look right now. So a lot of these presets are film emulated. They are made to look like portrait film or different types of Kodak film and Replichrome and all these different kind of vintage vibes that I'm really feeling right now that bring out that mood and tone. And it sounds redundant hearing this stuff over and over and over, but it really is a style, and you learn to develop it. And pun intended, develop, you know, film, developing, I'll see myself out. See you guys. Just dad jokes all day. No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Peter, this is a great photo. Thank you so much for submitting it. I love how she's framed in the center. I love how the ropes of the swing go right up to the top, right to the middle. The blonde hair looks amazing with the background and the trees. It's a great shot. It edited real nice because it was exposed nicely from the beginning. And that, sir, is my rendition of your photo. Thank you again for submitting. And guys, that ends episode 6 of Editing Your Photos. Thank you so much for submitting. You really put yourself out there when you do this, for your photos to be judged and viewed, and not only just viewed by everybody on this channel, but then edited by someone else as well, which you might not typically even like what I've done with them. So I really appreciate everyone that submits, and I'm sorry I can't edit all thousands of the emails that I get. I would love to, but I'm gonna keep doing these episodes so long as you guys keep enjoying them. I'll keep making them. That leads me to the end of the video. If you do want to pick up my new preset pack, it is the V3 preset pack, and it is available at the link below. They are very easy to install. I will include a link below on that product page to another video where I explain how to install them. If you've ever installed presets before, you know exactly what to do, but those are available now. And if you need the extra help, or you'd like to see more editing videos and specifically how to install those and maybe like a run through, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to do that. But right now, again, thanks to everybody that submitted. That was Editing Your Photos episode 6. Hit the like button if you like this video. Smash it if that's something that you're into. 2019 style. Creed 2. I did end up watching it, by the way. I saw the last 30 minutes on another flight, and it was great. Like, I never even saw Creed 1. I should probably go back and watch that one. I'm going to, for sure, because it was just... No idea what I'm doing. I'll see you in the next video. I should just stick to cameras. Bye.